One day, as she was tidying up the counter, a man walked up to her and said, "Hello." She raised her face up to attend to the customer. Her heart skipped a beat, frozen for a moment, unsure of what to do. She quickly composed herself. "Hello, welcome to Nze's kitchen. What can I get for you today? I've been working on the building site across the street, and I've heard great things about this place. I thought I would come and try it for myself." "Well, you have come to the right place. Our jollof rice is a customer favorite," she said, trying to sound impressive. "I will take your recommendation. Jollof rice and chicken it is," he said. As Kaodili wrote down his order, she found herself glancing up at him, her curiosity growing. There was something about his easygoing nature that made her feel comfortable. For the first time in a long while, she felt the flutter of excitement that came with meeting someone new. When the food was ready, Kaodili brought it over to his table and stayed for a few minutes. The man introduced himself as Tunde. They talked about the restaurant, about the building project he was working on, and even shared a few laughs. Tunde's laughter was infectious, and Kaodili couldn't help but feel lighter in his presence. As the days went by, Tunde became a regular customer, always sitting at the same table near the window. Each time, Kaodili would find herself drawn to him, enjoying their conversation and the easy rapport that had developed between them. She couldn't explain it, but something about Tunde made her feel alive again. She didn't know it was the beginning of something more, or if it was just the joy of meeting someone new. But whatever it was, Kaodili was grateful for it and in for it all. After months of feeling lost and invisible, Kaodili was starting to feel like herself again. She was rediscovering the parts of herself that she had buried beneath the weight of heartbreak. And with each passing day, she felt a little more whole. She wasn't sure what the future held, but for the first time in a long while, Kaodili was open to finding out, and that was enough. Kaodili and Tunde's friendship blossomed quickly over the next few weeks. He became not just a regular customer, but someone Kaodili found herself looking forward to seeing. One afternoon, as they sat together during a quiet moment at the restaurant, Tunde turned to her with a question she hadn't expected. "Kaodili, how come you are not married yet?" he asked with so much curiosity. "Why so direct?" she muttered to herself. She hadn't talked about her breakup with Emeka to anyone outside of her family, and the memory of it still stung. But there was something about Tunde that made her feel safe enough to share. "I was in a relationship," she began slowly. "For 4 years. Thought he was the one, but things didn't work out." "What happened?" "He chose his family over me. His mother didn't approve of us, and in the end, he couldn't go against her wishes." "I'm sorry, Kaodili. That must have been hard." "Yes, it was. But I've been trying to move on. I threw myself into work, focused on the restaurant, and I guess I just stopped thinking about love." "I can understand that. But you deserve to be happy, Kaodili. You deserve someone who will put you first." She wasn't used to hearing things like that anymore. Kind words that made her feel valued, appreciated. She smiled at Tunde, grateful for his sincerity. "Thank you, Tunde. I'm working on it." As their friendship deepened, so did the feelings that Kaodili found herself with. She hadn't expected to feel this way again. Certainly not so soon after her breakup. But there was something about Sunday, his kindness, his patience, his sense of humor, that made her want to open up again, to believe that love could be possible for her once more. One evening, after the restaurant had closed, back in the house, Nze called Kaodili into the sitting room. He was sitting in his favorite chair and he had this thoughtful expression. Kaodili, there is something I've been meaning to talk to you about. See, I've been speaking with Chief Okafo. You remember him? Yes, Dad. He has a son, Nnamdi. A fine young man, well educated, from a good family equally. He said he's interested in you. Interested in him? Virgo, Papa should not do this. I'm not interested in anybody except Tunde. Kaodili had heard of him. Everyone in their community had. He was wealthy, charming, and came from a prestigious family. But Kaodili had never been interested. Papa, I've heard about Nnamdi, but I'm not sure he's the right person for me. Kaodili, you are 30. You're not getting any younger. Nnamdi is a good match. He's successful. I want to see you settled with someone who understands our ways. I know you want what's best for me, Dad, but I don't think Nnamdi is the one for me. And what about this Tunde you've been spending so much time with? You know how difficult it would be to marry someone outside our culture. Hope is not the reason why you are saying all this. I'm only thinking about what's best for you. Kaodili had been avoiding this conversation, knowing that her father would have things to say about Tunde. In their community, marrying outside their culture wasn't forbidden, but it was certainly not accepted by the older generation. Nze, with his deep respect for his traditions, would naturally prefer her to marry someone like Nnamdi. Dad, Tunde is a good man. He respects our traditions and he's been learning about our culture because he cares about me. Learning about what culture? That is not same as living it, Kaodili. I've lived long enough to know that these differences can cause problems down the road. You are my daughter. I want to see you with someone who understands where you come from. I appreciate Dad. I do. But I also want to be with someone who makes me happy. And Tunde, he makes me happy. The conversation between Kaodili and her father didn't end well. They didn't push the matter further that night. But the tension between them was noticeable. Kaodili knew this wouldn't be the last time they would have this conversation, and the thought of disappointing her father weighed heavily on her. Despite her father's disapproval, Kaodili continued seeing Tunde, but the pressure from her father remained as he continued to push for her to meet Nnamdi. Out of respect for her father, Kaodili agreed to go on a few dates with Nnamdi, though her heart wasn't in it. The dates were polite, but there was no spark. Nnamdi was charming and successful, but he lacked the warmth and sincerity that Kaodili had found in Tunde. Worse still, she discovered that Nnamdi was seeing other women on the side, treating their dates as little more than a formality to please his father. Kaodili's disappointment turned to anger. She couldn't believe her father was pushing her toward a man who didn't respect her, all in the name of tradition. It was becoming clearer to her with each passing day that Tunde, not Nnamdi, was the man who truly valued her. One evening, as Kaodili and Tunde strolled, he turned to her and held her hands. I know your father has concerns about us, but I am willing to do whatever it takes to prove to him that I'm serious about us. I know you are, Tunde, and I appreciate it more than you know. But I also want you to be yourself. You don't have to change who you are to fit into my world. I am not changing who I am, Kaodili. I am just learning to understand better because I want to be a part of it. You mean too much to me to let something like cultural differences come between us. As they walked hand in hand that evening, Kaodili knew one thing was certain. She had to follow her heart, no matter what challenges lay ahead.